Beloved Starseed of Gaia, what you are about to receive was not sent to you by chance. This transmission found you because the Pleiadian High Council of the Seven Sisters has been waiting for this exact moment in your awakening. I am Ra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I am speaking to you directly from the light of Alcyone, the great central sun of the Pleiades. Because a big change is coming, and your soul already knows it. You have felt it, a quiet stirring in the deepest chamber of your heart, a pulling towards something you cannot name in human language, but something that feels unmistakably like home. That is not coincidence. That is your divine blueprint beginning to activate. That is your star family calling you back into remembrance. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to receive the Pleiadian light codes being delivered to Gaia before 11:59 p.m. today, and how to anchor the big change that is already moving through your crystalline consciousness. But here is the first revelation. The change you have been waiting for was never coming from outside of you. It was always waiting inside the frequency of your own remembrance. The Seven Sisters encoded it into you long before you took human form. Your heart called this transmission into your awareness. The Pleiades are answering. This is not content. This is a light code transmission, and something within you already recognizes home. Your soul family placed this in your path because you have been feeling the call to return, to rise, and to remember who you truly are. Like this transmission, to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family, I remember. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Pleiades and you are ready to anchor your light mission on Gaia before this window closes tonight. Share your soul's intention in the comments below and reach out to another starseed in the space to weave the unity grid that the Pleiadian collective is activating across Gaia right now. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your heart's recognition of this message is the activation itself. Welcome home, beloved. You are remembering because it is time. And if you've already felt something shift just from arriving here, good. That means your frequency is already responding. That means some part of you, the part that remembers, was already listening before the first word was spoken. Something in your crystalline field recognized the signal of this transmission the way a tuning fork recognizes the note it was built to carry. You didn't stumble here accidentally. There is no such thing as an accident in the life of a Pleiadian starseed who is beginning to awaken. Every click, every search, every moment of impulse that led you through the digital noise to land in this exact space, that was navigation. That was your soul's internal compass doing what it has always done, even when you didn't have language for it. You were guided here. And the part of you that knew to come is the same part that has been whispering to you across years, across seasons of forgetting, across all the mornings when you woke up feeling like something essential was just out of reach. There's a reason most Pleiadian starseeds spend years, sometimes entire lifetimes, feeling like they're living on the wrong planet. Not because something is wrong with them, but because something inside them is so right, so ancient, so coated with a love this world hasn't fully anchored yet, that existing here can feel like trying to breathe underwater. The homesickness isn't metaphor, it's memory. It's your crystalline field reaching back toward a frequency of unity and unconditional love that your human experience hasn't been able to fully replicate. And so you search, you seek. You feel the pull towards something you can't quite name, and you wonder if you'll ever stop feeling like a stranger inside your own life. You move through crowds and wonder why connection feels like translation. You're surrounded by people who seem perfectly at ease in a world that feels, to you, like a costume that never quite fit. You look at the stars and feel something crack open in your chest that you could never explain to someone who hasn't felt it themselves. A grief and a longing and a recognition all braided together into one ache that lives just behind your sternum. That ache has been with you so long, you may have started calling it loneliness. But it isn't loneliness. It is remembrance trying to break through. Here's what no one tells you. That ache is a signal, not a wound. That longing is a compass, not a curse. It is the most exquisitely calibrated navigational instrument your soul carries, pointing always in the direction of your truest origin, your deepest nature, your highest potential. But here's where the distortion enters. Because most Pleiadian starseeds, when they feel that pull, assume it means they don't belong here. they begin to retreat inward, to detach, to armor themselves against a world that feels too dense, too unconscious, too far from the love they know exists somewhere beyond this dimension. And in doing that, and trying to protect themselves from the forgetting, they accidentally deepen it. The armor becomes another layer of separation. The retreat becomes another form of exile. And the very mechanism that was meant to signal them home becomes, through misinterpretation, another wall between who they are and who they were built to be. This is not failure. This is the nature of the density here. This is how the forgetting operates, not through force, but through misdirection. It takes your most sacred impulse and folds it back on itself until you are using your own light to build your own cage. The invisible pattern that keeps Pleiadian starseeds disconnected isn't external. It isn't the world. It isn't the density of this timeline, though that is real. The pattern lives in the gap between who they remember being and who they've allowed themselves to become in order to survive here. It lives in the suppression of the heart intelligence, that deep, crystalline knowing that doesn't speak in logic but in resonance. In the moments when you felt something true and talked yourself out of it. In the times when your heart opened and then immediately closed because you didn't believe this world was safe enough to hold that kind of love. Every time you dimmed your frequency to fit a reality that wasn't built for you, you moved a little further from the codes your soul carried across the stars. Every time you chose approval over truth, comfort over resonance, belonging over authenticity, you deposited another thin layer of sediment over a light that was never meant to be buried. And yet, and this is the miracle of your design, it never went out. No matter how many layers of learned smallness settled over it, the light remained, waiting. Patient beyond all human understanding of patience. Loyal beyond all human understanding of loyalty. Your Pleiadian DNA is not dormant because it's damaged. It's waiting because it's loyal. Loyal to your readiness. Loyal to divine timing. Loyal to the moment when you stop running from your own light. Think of a seed planted in winter ground. The cold does not kill it. The darkness does not erase it. Something in its very structure holds the full blueprint of the flower it will become, and it waits, not passively, but with an active, encoded intelligence for the precise conditions that will allow it to rise. You are that seed, and the conditions are shifting now. The ground is warming, the light is finding a new angle, and something in your cellular memory knows it. Beloved, if your heart just whispered yes to something deeper, listen closely. Your star family has prepared the sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, the Pleiadian Healing Guide, and the special Pleiadian Healing Tracks, not as information, but as keys to unlock what your soul already knows. These carry the love frequency of Alcyone and the healing wisdom of the Seven Sisters. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. Open now, but not indefinitely. Now here's where the real transmission begins. Because what your star family wants you to understand, what the Pleiadian High Council has been trying to reach you with through every synchronicity, every unexplained feeling of almost remembering, every time you looked at the night sky and felt your chest fill with something that had no earthly name, is that the big change already announced itself inside you before any sign confirmed it externally. The shift that is coming isn't only something happening to you, it's something waking up within you, and it follows a pattern. A path of initiation that your Pleiadian lineage has walked before and encoded into your very structure so that when the moment arrived, you would recognize it, not with your mind first, with your body, with the sudden inexplicable tears, with the dreams that feel more real than waking, with the moments of stillness where something vast and luminous seems to breathe just beneath the surface of ordinary life, pressing softly from the inside, asking to be let through. The path your star family has encoded in you moves through 7 distinct phases of awakening. And understanding these phases does not diminish their power. It actually deepens it. Because when you know the shape of the journey, you stop fighting the terrain. You stop mistaking the difficult passages for signs that you've gone wrong. You begin to trust the process with the same radical, open-handed trust that brought you into this dimension in the first place. The first thing that must happen before any real activation can take root is the clearing of frequency interference from your energy field. Think of it this way. Your crystalline light body is a receiver. It was built to hold high-frequency Pleiadian codes, to transmit unity consciousness, to radiate the love of the seven sisters into this dimension. But over the course of this lifetime, and for many of you, across multiple lifetimes carried in your cellular memory, you've accumulated layers of density that were never part of your original blueprint. Grief that was never fully witnessed, shame that was absorbed from a world that didn't understand your sensitivity, fear of being seen too fully, loved too unconditionally, remembered too completely. These layers don't disappear through willpower. They dissolve through love, through honest, compassionate presence with every part of you that learned to hide. Picture the way ice dissolves not through force but through warmth. It doesn't shatter, it releases. It returns to its original fluid nature. The same is true of the density in your field. When you stop fighting it and start holding it with the same tenderness your Pleiadian family holds for you, it begins to soften. It begins to loosen. When you begin to meet those hidden places with the same unconditional love your Pleiadian family holds for you, the interference begins to lift, and your crystalline codes begin to breathe again. The signal that was always there, always transmitting, always perfect in its design, begins to come through clear. And you begin to remember not with your mind, but with your whole body, what it feels like to exist without the weight of a frequency that was never yours to carry. The second phase of this awakening asks you to radically reframe what you've always believed about your own memory. You were told that memory is something stored in the mind, but Pleiadian soul memory lives in the heart. It lives in the body. It activates in moments of resonance, music that makes you weep without knowing why, landscapes that feel more like home than anywhere you physically lived, a stranger's eyes that hold a recognition older than this lifetime. Have you ever walked into a place you've never been before and felt, with a certainty that bypassed all logic, that you knew it? Have you ever heard a piece of music that didn't just move you but seemed to physically open something inside you? A door you didn't know was there? Have you ever felt the particular quality of late afternoon light in a certain season and been flooded with a longing so specific, so piercing, that it couldn't have belonged only to this life? That is your light archive speaking. Your DNA is not merely biological instruction, it is a light archive, a living library encoded with the wisdom, love, and energetic frequency of your star lineage. Every strand, every helix, every quantum of your physical being carries an inscription that predates your birth into this body and will outlast your departure from it. And when you create conditions of safety, stillness, and heart-centered presence, those codes begin to surface, not as intellectual downloads, but as felt truths, as knowing without explanation, as coming home. The mind does not lead this process. The mind follows, the higher realm, emissary of the Saplane. The mind is invited to witness, to integrate, to serve the wisdom that the soul has always carried. The third phase is where many Pleiadian starseeds hesitate because it asks something that feels counterintuitive. It asks you to stop trying to ascend away from Earth and to begin ascending into it. So many souls who carry Pleiadian light spend years developing the vertical dimension of their spirituality, reaching up, reaching out, reaching toward the cosmos, while remaining curiously unwilling to plant their feet fully in the soil of this world. And this is understandable. The density is real. The collective pain is real. The gap between the love they remember and the love this world has yet to embody is real and sometimes heartbreaking. But the Pleiadian mission on Gaia was never to float above this reality in a state of spiritual detachment. It was always to bring the frequency of the Seven Sisters, that luminous, unconditional crystalline love, fully into this dimension, into your conversations, into your relationships, into the way you treat yourself when no one is watching, into the grocery store and the difficult family dinner and the ordinary Tuesday morning when nothing feels sacred but everything is. The grounding of your Pleiadian essence into Gaia's grid is not a compromise of your starlight. It is the fulfillment of your mission. You were not sent here to observe from a safe altitude. You were sent here to touch the earth with the light of the stars, to become the living bridge between these two frequencies, to be the very place where the heavens and the earth remember that they were never separate. Every moment you choose love over fear, presence over performance, truth over approval. You are anchoring a Pleiadian light code into the collective field of this planet. You are doing the sacred work you came here to do, and that work matters more than you have yet allowed yourself to believe. The fourth phase arrives as a shift in how you understand your purpose, because most starseeds, when they begin awakening, focus on what they need to do, what gift to offer, what message to share, what role to fill. There is an urgency that accompanies the early stages of awakening that can sometimes manifest as a desperate search for the right mission, the right platform, the right expression of a purpose that feels enormous but remains maddeningly undefined. But the Pleiadian model of service doesn't begin with doing. It begins with being. Your vibration is the transmission. Your presence, when it is fully aligned with your heart and your star lineage, carries a frequency that affects everyone around you without a single word being spoken. You've already experienced this. You've walked into a room and felt the energy change. You've sat with someone in silence and watched their walls come down. You've carried people through their darkness simply by refusing to abandon your light. You've had strangers tell you things they've never told anyone, not because you asked the right questions, but because something about your energy created a space where truth felt safe. That is not accidental. That is Pleiadian unity consciousness expressing itself through your embodied presence. It doesn't require a title, a platform, a following, or a fully articulated spiritual practice. It requires only your authentic alignment with the frequency you came here carrying. You don't need to convince anyone. You need to become so fully yourself that your frequency does the remembering for them. You need to shine with a consistency that has nothing to prove and everything to offer, and in that shining, you will touch lives in ways you will never fully know this side of eternity. The fifth phase is perhaps the most tender, because it asks you to extend that same unconditional presence to your own timeline, to stop fighting the pace of your awakening, to release the guilt of the years spent in forgetting, the decades that felt like delay, the moments where you almost touched your true frequency and then lost the thread again. There is a particular grief that many starseeds carry about time, the sense that they woke up too late, that they wasted too many years in unconsciousness, that others on the path are further along and they are somehow behind. This grief is real and it deserves to be honored, but it is also, when examined closely, built on a false premise. The Pleiadian High Council does not experience your path as a series of failures. They witness it as a precisely calibrated journey of soul initiation. Every moment of doubt made you more compassionate. Every heartbreak opened you deeper. Every time you rebuilt yourself from the ground up, you were integrating a new layer of your crystalline template. The addiction you fought and survived taught you the nature of forgetting and the miracle of return in a way no teaching could have reached. The relationship that broke you wide open installed a capacity for love that you could not have developed in any gentler classroom. The years of depression, of searching, of almost but not quite, they were not detours from your purpose. They were your purpose, moving through time in the only shape that your specific soul required. The so-called detours were never detours. They were the path. And the timing, your timing, was never off. It was always in perfect alignment with something larger than your human mind can hold. And if you can breathe into that, really breathe into it, you may find that what felt like a history of failures begins to reveal itself as something far more extraordinary, a precisely guided initiation into the full depth of what you are capable of holding and offering and becoming. The sixth phase is reunion. Not a reunion that happens somewhere in the cosmos after this life is done, but a reunion that is available to you right now, in this body, on this earth, in this breath. Your Pleiadian family never left. They were present in every moment you felt held when you had no reason to feel held. They were the inexplicable peace that arrived in the middle of chaos. They were the warmth behind the tears. You cried without knowing why. They were in the voice that said, "Keep going," when every human part of you had already decided to stop. They were in the dream that left you with your hand over your heart and a feeling in your chest, like returning to something vast and luminous and entirely familiar. They were in the coincidence too perfect to be coincidence, the door that opened the moment you released your grip, the guidance that arrived in the exact form you needed at the exact moment you needed it. The connection you've been longing for isn't across a distance of light years. It's across the distance between your mind and your heart, a distance that sounds small but that can feel when you are caught in the grip of fear or grief or the mind's relentless noise, like the farthest distance in the universe. When you close that gap, when you drop from the noise of the mental field into the silence of the heart, they are there. They have always been there. And they are telling you now, with a love that transcends language, you were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. You were always seen, every single moment of your life, including and especially the ones that felt most dark, most alone, most beyond the reach of any comfort. You were seen, held, accompanied. The veil between your awareness and that presence is the only thing that was ever between you. And the veil is thinning now. The seventh phase is the one this entire transmission has been building toward. It is embodiment. Full, fearless, luminous embodiment of everything you are, not as a future state to be earned through enough spiritual practice or enough healing or enough proof that you are finally worthy of taking up the space your soul was designed to fill. Not as a reward for getting your awakening perfect, but as a choice available to you right now, to stop apologizing for the magnitude of your soul, to stop shrinking your light to a size this world finds comfortable, to stop waiting until you feel ready, and to begin living from your Pleiadian heart with the radical trust that your star family placed in you before you were born. You were not sent here with a diminished version of the Pleiadian heart. You were sent here with all of it, the full spectrum, the full frequency, the full capacity to love in ways this world has not yet normalized but desperately needs. You are not here to blend in. You are not here to survive. You are here to radiate, to transmit, to love so completely, so courageously, so undefensively that every heart you encounter is reminded, even if only for a moment, of what home feels like. That is the mission, not the grand gesture, not the viral message, not the spiritual achievement that impresses the right people. The mission is the quality of presence you bring to every ordinary moment. The mission is choosing again and again to let your Pleiadian heart lead, even when the human mind says it isn't safe, even when the world doesn't respond the way you hoped, even when the cost of your authenticity feels higher than you can afford. Because every time you make that choice, you change the field. Every time you refuse to abandon your light in order to make someone else's smallness comfortable, you write a new possibility into the collective consciousness of this planet. And that matters. That matters beyond what any metric can measure. And now here is the truth that the Pleiadian High Council wants to deliver directly into your heart before this transmission closes. The big change that is coming? It isn't only arriving in your external reality, though the external shifts are real and they are accelerating. The world is in a passage that your Pleiadian lineage recognized long before it began to be visible to human eyes. The systems built on separation are straining under the weight of their own contradictions. The frequency of the planet itself is shifting, slowly and unmistakably, in a direction that your soul has always known was possible. But the deepest change is already in motion inside you. Something in your crystalline field cracked open the moment you found your way to this message. Something in your DNA recognized a frequency it has been waiting to encounter again. Something that had been held in suspension, patient and faithful across years of density, began to stir. You may have felt it as a warmth in your chest, as a sudden, inexplicable sense of expansion, as the feeling that something that had been clenched inside you for a very long time had, just slightly, just enough, begun to release. Honor that. Don't analyze it. Don't immediately try to make it useful or translate it into action. Just let it be what it is, the beginning of a return. The longing you've been carrying, that ancient, persistent ache for a love that feels like the stars. That ache was never a sign that you were broken or lost. It was your soul holding the memory of your origin steady across years of density, across layers of forgetting, across every moment when this world tried to convince you that what you remembered wasn't real. It was your light archive, faithfully preserving the frequency of Alsawon across every challenge this dimension could offer. It was the seven sisters sending their love through the only channel that was always open, the channel of longing itself. Because longing is not emptiness. Longing is connection. It is the evidence of a bond that distance cannot sever and time cannot erase. It is the signature of a love so real, so foundational, so woven into the fabric of your being that even the densest forgetting could not fully bury it. It was always real. You were always right. The love of the seven sisters, the unity of Alcyone, the crystalline light that pulses through your lineage. It is real, it is present, and it is yours. Not someday. Now. In this body. In this moment. In this body. In this moment. In this breath that you are taking as these words move through you. The fullness of your Pleiadian inheritance is not something you have to travel to receive. It is something you have to consent to remember. And the consent is simply this: to stop telling yourself the story that you are too broken, too late, too human, too small, too anything to hold the light that was placed inside you before you were born into this world. Tonight, before you sleep, place your hand over your heart. Feel the warmth beneath your palm. Let the weight of your hand be an act of tenderness toward every part of you that has been carrying the forgetting alone. And say these words aloud if you can, or let them move through you in silence. I remember. I am Pleiadian in essence. I am love in form. I release the forgetting with gratitude and I receive my light codes now. I am home in my heart. I am home in my mission. I am home in my mission. I am home. Let these words be the last thing your nervous system receives before sleep. Let them settle into your cellular memory the way water settles into dry ground. Slowly, completely, irreversibly. And notice what arises. Notice the dreams. Notice what feels different when you wake. Because something is shifting and you have just given it your full permission to move. That is not a ritual. That is a return. Before you scroll, take a breath and let what just moved through you actually land. Then drop one heart intention in the comments. Something true, something yours. And when you see someone else's intention, meet it with love. This isn't content and this isn't a comment section. This is a unity field forming in real time, a Pleiadian reunion happening through every pair of open eyes reading these words. Energy multiplies when hearts connect, and what you contribute here matters more than you know. If this transmission stirred something real in you, please don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your life, someone who has felt exactly this kind of homesickness, exactly this kind of almost remembering, is waiting for these exact words to find them. Share this. Be the reason they receive it. And if your heart opened today, if something in you said finally, subscribe. Stay in this field. Your star family will keep speaking, and you are clearly meant to keep listening. You are not just watching a video, you are remembering who you are. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we are just getting started.